And then my grandma, before she passed, which was just yesterday, loaned me the money to go to school.
Are you saying that right now that your wages are much lower than that?
Much lower than that. I mean, I'm barely getting by. If it wasn't for my grandma loaning me money right now, I probably wouldn't have a home, to be honest with you. That's the truth.
When you negotiated this order, was it because there was a change in Mr. Godeaux's wages from the time of the previous order?
No, there was not. So whenever we first started child support, we agreed on $500 a month because he was getting our son at the time. So I didn't want to take from him, like getting him and taking care of him or whatever. Well, whenever we did do that motion, about a month later, he stopped getting his son, stopped having to do anything with them. So the $500 was just all I had to take care of groceries, childcare, this and that, because he was no longer helping me with him.
And this was the previous order that was done on March 20th of 2019?
Yes, and then I had to wait 3 years to take him back to court. So therefore, 3 years later, when I was able to, I took him back to court to get more money.
Okay. And are you asking the court to enter the proposed order today as it is drafted?
Absolutely.
Right. No further questions. I pass the witness.
Your witness, Mr. McCaffrey.
I have no questions of this witness, Your Honor.
Okay. Call your next witness, Mr. McNulty.
At this time, I'll call Mr. Godeaux. Mr. Godeaux, where are you currently working?
I'm currently unemployed.
Are you getting unemployment income?
Yes, sir.
How much are you getting in unemployment?
After child support's taken out, I receive $407 a week, and I'm paid every 2 weeks.
How much do you get before child support is taken out?
I don't know the exact amount. I want to say it's around $563, I believe is what it is.
And do you have any other minor biological children who are below the age of 18?
Yes, sir. I have two.
And do they live in the household with you?
Yes, sir, they do.
Okay. And when did you become unemployed?
I believe my last day of employment was August the 15th, if I ain't mistaken. It was on a Monday.
Are you currently looking, do you have any other prospective jobs lined up?
Well, I've been doing applications online. I set up the, what is it called? It's a website online where you do the deals on top of the workforce. And then my grandma, before she passed, which was just yesterday, loaned me the money to go to school to get a CWI. That way I can hopefully get another job to where I'm making the kind of money I was making, because right now it's just hard for me to find a job making that type of money.
So,
I mean, I have 7.
So is your main objection to this proposed order the way your wages were calculated when this negotiation was done?
Sir?
Is your objection to this order the way your wages were calculated when this negotiation was done?
I'm sorry, I'm not understanding the question.
When the negotiation was done on the proposed order before the court, there was a finding that your average monthly wages are $9,531.66. That's in the proposed order. Are you saying that right now that your wages are much lower than that?
Much lower than that. I mean, I'm barely getting by. If it wasn't for my grandma loaning me money right now, I probably wouldn't have a home, to be honest with you. That's the truth.
Okay, I have no further questions. I pass the witness.
Your witness, Mr. McCaffrey.
Thank you, Your Honor. I had tendered to Mr. McNulty. I don't know if he had an opportunity to look at it. It was a letter from the Unemployment Commission and Workforce Commission, and I wanted to give him an opportunity to look at it in case he hadn't, because I was going to offer that into evidence.
And I have reviewed that document, Your Honor.
I did not provide it to you, Your Honor. I was going to ask for permission to screen share and have my client prove up what he received.
Mr. McCaffrey, you are now a co-host and have the right to screen share. You may proceed, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Mr. Godeaux, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Your testimony was that you became laid off and applied for unemployment in end of August?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and did you receive something from them indicating, from the Texas workforce, indicating that child support would be pulled out of that benefit?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm going to share the screen here. I'm going to attempt to share the screen. Can you see that on your phone there, Mr. Godeaux? Probably barely.
Yes, sir, barely.
Okay, I've marked as respondent father's exhibit 1 what is been represented to me to be a determination of payment of unemployment benefits that you provided to my office. Does that look like what you provided to my office?
Yes, sir.
And is this the exact letter that you got on the state's, appears to be the state's letterhead or purported to come from the Texas Workforce Commission, indicating that you are receiving these unemployment benefits?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I would like to offer into evidence respondent father's exhibit number 1 at this time.
Any objection, Mr. McNulty?
No objection from the state.
Ms. Trammell, Mr. Godeaux's attorney is asking me to look at this information from the unemployment agency. Is it okay if I look at the information? Did we lose Ms. Trammell?
Yes, sir, absolutely.
I'm here.
Ms. Trammell, can I look at this unemployment information from the state?
Absolutely.
Respondent's exhibit 1, I believe is what you labeled it as, Mr. McCatherine, is admitted into evidence. You can stop the screen share now.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Godeaux, your claim date, according to this letter, was August the 20th. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And are you aware, you indicated previously that you thought the amount was $563. Have you become educated today that that is the maximum benefit allowed by the state for unemployment, weekly benefit?
Yep. Yes, sir.
Okay. So do you have any idea how long until this benefit runs out?
I believe it was 6 months.
Okay, so in regards to insurance, do you have any insurance available to you for Bo?
No, sir, I do not.
Did you have it previously through work?
No, sir. It was so high at my employer, there was no way I could afford it. It was like $1,200 a month, and there was no way that I could afford that.
So based upon the circumstances now and you being in between, what we hope in between jobs, are you asking Judge Webster to enter it's not conventional, it's not something that they normally do, but are you asking the court to consider a temporary order?
Can't do it, Mr. McCatherine.
What's that?
Can't do it. Nobody has any pleadings on file for temporary orders, and I don't hear anything about an agreement for temporary orders. So unless you have an agreement or you have pleadings to that effect, I don't have jurisdiction to grant what your request is. Temporary orders require affirmative pleadings. I'm not aware of any affirmative pleadings in this file that give me the right to issue temporary orders. So unless the parties agree to temporary orders, I can't grant it.
Okay, so after testimony, Your Honor, I will ask the parties if they are in agreement with our request without affirmative pleadings to see if that would be something that we would be agreeable to.
Okay. Well, I mean, no offense, Mr. McCatherine, but now's not the time to negotiate cases. Once it gets to me at this level and everybody's under oath and in the courtroom, this is time to put on the evidence. I'm assuming there was an opportunity at some point in time before this got into my courtroom for you guys to sit down and work out a deal. That didn't happen. So
I didn't have any communication with Ms. Trammell, and she's unrepresented. So that's the only issue, Your Honor, to be honest with you. So your current wages then, Mr. Godeaux, are that you make $563 a week or an average of $24.40 a month gross. Is that accurate?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you asking the court to continue the child's medical coverage on Medicaid?
Yes, sir.
You understand that the court is going to assess a cash medical payment for you to pay toward the portion of the child's Medicaid?
Can you ask the question again? I'm sorry. I'm not understanding.
Okay, you understand that the court is likely to grant or order you to pay cash medical, a medical payment that goes toward the state's cost of insuring your son, Bo.
Okay, now I'm sorry. I'm just kind of out of it. I apologize.
Okay. Previously, you were ordered to pay an amount for insurance, correct?
Yes, sir.
And that insurance was for Medicaid, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You understand the court is going to do the same today, likely?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you have 2 other minor children, correct?
Yes, sir. That is correct.
And what are the ages of those 2 children?
16 and 10.
And so based upon your earnings, you're asking the court to set child support at $330 a month. Is that accurate?
Yes, sir.
And are you asking the effective date of that to be effective as of November the 1st, 2023, the first month after we entered our appearance in the case.
Yes, sir.
That's all I have, Your Honor. I'll pass this witness.
You're a witness, Mr. McNulty.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
You can call your next witness, Mr. McNulty.
I have no other witnesses to call.
The state rest.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. McCatherine, the state is rested. Do you have any additional witnesses that you wish to call?
I do not, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Trammell, you're unrepresented, but I always like to try to give you an opportunity. Is there any other information, Ms. Trammell, that you think I need to know about this case before I make a ruling?
I mean, that's less than what he was paying me before, and I couldn't afford anything. You know, that's why I took him back in the first place, because he was supposed to be helping us with our son. He
Yes.
never did. I took him back. It took him over a year to serve him whenever he had 5 years making all this money a month. And I'm over here struggling, taking care of our son. And now he wants to pay $310 a month. That's just not okay to me. You know what I mean?
I do.
Okay, because I
exactly
have
what you mean.
I have 2 other children as well.
Right.
So,
It is
you
frustrating.
know, and then whenever he does get another job, it's going to be making pretty good money because he lives in a beautiful house, has all this stuff, nice vehicles, this, that, but yet you want to pay $310. No, sir.
You understand, Ms. Trammell, that I'm limited by what I can do to base child support. I can only base it on what I've heard in testimony, right?
Okay.
I mean, I can't impute wages to Mr. Godeaux without having heard testimony that allows me to do that, okay?
Okay.
And one thing that Mr. Godeaux did say, though, Mr. Godeaux, did you say you were getting some help from another source? A grandmother or somebody was loaning you money?
My grandmother did loan me some money for this WI course that I'm taking. Yes, sir.
Okay. I thought you also said, though, she was helping you with your bills when you got behind.
No, sir.
All right. Was anybody else helping you with your bills when you got behind?
No, sir.
Any summation, Mr. McCatherine?
No, Your Honor. Well, briefly, Your Honor, we'd ask that an order be entered based upon his current wages and based upon the medical testimony, Your Honor.
Your Honor, so what happens whenever we're doing this low amount and he gets another job that's making thousands and thousands of dollars a month and
Good
he's
question.
paying me less? You know
That's
what
a
I'm
good
saying?
question.
He's gonna have this low paying income a month,
Right.
but yet in a month from now, like he had put an application in, I work at Labelco Fabrication in
Right.
Finette, Beaumont. Okay. He turned down a job offer from here. Okay.
Right.
And I can tell you they pay good money. Yes, I work here. I do. But the president and the owner of the company came and spoke with me about Godeaux.
Ms. Trammell, you can't.
I'm sorry. Okay. But I'm just saying what's going to
No,
happen
Ms.
whenever.
Trammell, you understand? I mean, and I don't mean to cut you off, but what you just told me was the president of your company came to you and told you that Mr. Godeaux was offered a position and turned it down?
No, he asked me why he would. He didn't know anything about it.
Oh,
He just said,
okay.
yeah, they didn't offer, they offered it and he turned it down. So they were asking me, they were wondering why somebody would turn down such a good position is what they asked me why. So I told them why.
What the president of the company did was just violate about 5 different federal statutes by giving you information about somebody that applied for a job. And your company would now be liable if that information came out in court, which it just did. Yeah, that's a real problem. Mr. Godeaux, but that
Yes,
has
sir.
hold on. Y'all need to stop, okay? Let me ask the question. Y'all answer the question, and then we'll move on from there. Mr. Godeaux, did somebody offer you a job making a bunch of money and you turned it down?
Yes, sir.
Why?
Yes, sir. You're on. I found out that he worked there,
Okay.
and I felt like
You
it was-
turn. You don't have to explain it anymore, Mr. Godeaux. I just asked you a simple question. I just wanted a simple answer. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Did anybody else offer you a job making a good living that you turned down besides the one
no,
with Ms.
sir.
Trammell?
No, sir. I would have taken that job, sir.
Now, Ms. Trammell, the one thing that you did say that does kind of ring home for me is that it took the state like 15 or 16 months to serve Mr. Godeaux with a lawsuit in May of 2022. They didn't serve him until September. You with me so far? Ms. Trammell, this is one of the things that happens when people put their legal problems in the hands of a state agency. They do their thing at whatever speed they wish to do it. Okay. And they don't ask for your assistance. They don't ask you, they don't represent you. They don't work for you. They're not your attorneys. So you don't have any control over how quickly they're moving your case. Okay. You always have the right, Ms. Trammell, to do exactly what Mr. Godeaux did. go out and hire an attorney to file your own motion to modify, to adjust the child support. And that case will run at your speed and at your request, because you'll be asking your attorney to move that case along, okay? But that's the problem when we give our legal issues to a state agency. If they don't do it the way we want it to do it, you don't have a whole lot of wiggle room in regards to being able to complain to anybody, all right?
Yes, sir.
So what I got here is I got a motion to modify that was filed in May of 2022. The AG's office didn't physically serve that paperwork until September of 2023. So 16 months goes by, and now Mr. Godeaux is drawing unemployment. And there is at least a quasi-judicial finding that his unemployment is verified and that he's entitled to those benefits because of a reduction in force or some other issue with his employer with no fault to him. So what I got here is a guy that's making a lot less money today than he was when the order was entered in 2018 or 2019. And he's certainly making a lot less money than what the AG's office predicted in 2022 when they filed the lawsuit. Am I good so far, Mr. McNulty?
Yes, Judge, that seems to be the situation.
Okay. Mr. McNulty, does the state have any summation that they wish to give me?
We just asked that the court make appropriate orders based on the testimony that was given today and the evidence that was presented to the court.
I'm denying the motion to modify. The court's going to find that there has not been sufficient evidence given to the court at this time to determine that there has been a material substantial change in circumstance. Mr. Godeaux is making less money now, obviously, than he was making in 2018 with his child support. While it would have been about $150 different than what he was paying on the original order, that order was set low due to an agreement it's not in place anymore. On top of that, I believe that there is some additional income that's coming in from other sources. So that's just my opinion based on what I've heard so far. So I'm just going to deny the motion to modify outright. Mr. McNulty, are you going to get me an order in regards to that?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
Ms. Trammell, Mr. Godeaux, what's going to happen is Mr. McNulty's office is going to send me an order that says I'm just denying the motion to modify. A lawsuit was filed before me to see if the child support needs to be adjusted.
Are you paid a salary?
I am, yes, ma'am.
Okay, and what is that salary?
It's $90,000 a year.
Have any idea what kind of income that business generates?
I would guess probably 3 to 5 million.